I find myself here with another obelisk, and I find myself with
Tom Farrell.
Okay. And Tom, my question with you is, what was your inspiration or your theme for your obelisk?
My inspiration was the city of St. Augustine. I am an acrylic painter. I work in a very colorful media, and this is what I do. I do colorful scenes of St. Augustine. So this was kind of a no-brainer for me, really, at least the top portion. The bottom portion, my inspiration, were the 4 themes of Compassionate St. Augustine.
What was your medium?
The medium is acrylic paint. In fact, I incorporated some special paint that I had to special order from Orlando. It's actually used to paint rides and different things at theme parks.
Oh, wow.
But it's like super saturated with color, but I wanted to get just the right blue, so I ordered this paint. And then I special ordered this gold from Sherwin-Williams, because I wanted the gold molding.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be seeing them all soon, August 20th. It'll be a hoot to see all those
yeah, it's exciting.
obelisks. All right, thank you once again. This is FirstCoast.tv. We're here in Jacksonville with another obelisk, and I'm here with
Shannon Palmer with Yarn Bomb Jacks.
Okay, and tell me, what was your inspiration on your obelisk?
My inspiration was the courageous life of Kat Twine and her husband Henry Twine. Lifelong residents of St. Augustine, highly involved with the civil rights movement. And Kat, on numerous occasions, was arrested and sent to the stockade area of the jail, where she would sit and crochet under the shade of her wicker-brimmed hat that had a really interesting geometric design on it. So taking Kat Twine's bravery, we've kind of intertwined that, I guess you could say, or weaved that in with the yarn. We're really focusing on all 4 foundational values. You don't have democracy without human rights, and you don't have human rights without freedom. You don't have freedom without compassion. And based on what she went through and her husband went through, we kind of put that together in a nice weaving and tapestry. We have the different designs from her hat are interweaved through the yarn, as well as, since the proximity to the School for the Deaf and Blind, I also have Braille. I have the foundational values knitted in Braille, which will be across the bottom. And then we're going to also put hands that we have shaped into sign language, into finger spelling, that will spell the words freedom now, because that is what Kat had inscribed upon the brim of her hat when she sat at the stockade.
All right, well, thank you very much. And yeah, I can't wait to see all these together. I keep saying that because eventually they're all going to be together. And I thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're here in the we're here with another obelisk, and quite interesting. And I'm here with?
I'm Jeff Whipple.
Okay, Jeff, and my question for you is the same question I pose all the artists, is what was your inspiration for your obelisk?
Well, I think initially I was just inspired by the idea of creating art, and I like the meaning behind the theme of it, but just what was really inspiring for me is to make these things that will be out in public for an audience that I don't normally get with my work. I show in museums and art galleries and places where people know what they're getting into when they go there. They go there looking for art. What I really love about this project, and I've seen some of the other obelisks, are really wonderful, but they'll be in places where people won't expect them. I mean, initially they'll be at the museum where everybody knows they're there, but out on the street it's such a cool thing where people walk around and be looking at buildings or whatever, and they'll come across this art experiences. And so that is a very cool thing. That's something that I like, reaching an audience that doesn't normally, get into art museums. But also I appreciate the themes of the Compassionate 450. The whole concepts behind it is something I've always done in my work, all my artwork going back to the 70s and 1980. I got my MFA. I've always done themes like that anyway. It's always been incorporating it into my work. So when I started thinking about this one, I thought, well, this is, in some ways, this is all the stuff we all learned in kindergarten. We all learned, we're supposed to like each other and not be prejudiced, and in democracy, we learned that in kindergarten too. We're voting for fish or something, I don't know. So I thought, well, in a way, it's kind of stuff we already know. So I have these animals are speaking on mine, which is part of my recent series of my artwork anyway. But in this case, this is my cat Bob, and he's saying, just get over it. Just don't worry about this stuff. This stuff shouldn't be an issue. And there's a chicken that says he's chicken of the rooster. He's chicken of normal, and which is, everybody thinks, well, everything should be the same. Everybody should be the normal, whatever that is. But it shouldn't be the case. Everybody should have their own identity and be different and be championed for that and appreciated for that.
So here's another question for you. What was your medium with this?
This is all acrylic paint too, but I thought, well, since this is going to go on this thing, it just would be more durable and make more sense. So.
Cool. Well, Jeff, I want to thank you for that minute or two, and you don't want to give too much away, and it'll be interesting seeing all of these displayed and how people will react and connect emotionally or intellectually or spiritually to each one of these. It'll be very, very interesting.
Yes.
And
cool.
I love it, and thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This is Jorge Rivera of FirstCoast.tv. We're here with another obelisk here in Jacksonville, and I'm here with
Liz Gibson.
Okay, Liz, your obelisk is very, very cool. There's a lot of sorts of arts that come into my mind when I look at it. And your inspiration for your was what? For your obelisk?
I think that the compassion theme is a really inspiring theme to begin with, and I would imagine that because there's a 450th anniversary attached to this for St. Augustine, I think a lot of people probably delve into the past history of St. Augustine. But for me, I was not really interested in the past history at all in St. Augustine because I have an actual current history in St. Augustine. I work through class projects called VSA, Very Special Arts, and that places me into classrooms with children with disabilities. And as an artist, I was born with 7 fingers, 2 on my right hand, 5 on my left. And I like to make art that expresses ideas of deformity, adversity, and empowerment. And through my experience of being an artist, and then also through my experience of being a teacher, and especially teaching little students with disabilities, for me, St. Augustine's compassion comes from the classroom, comes from my experiences in St. Augustine classroom, St. Augustine High, the Webster School, Palencia Village, and working with those children. So for me, I wanted this to be something that represented disability in a positive way and difference in a positive way. And what I decided to do is, because my sponsor happens to be the Ripley's Believe It or Not, which is also a really interesting place to be at, and it has a lot of difference in there, I wanted to have a celebration of difference. And I like the idea of something being somehow interactive or having some kind of component to it that engages the audience. So what I did is I took this project and I have different text on it. On this side it says, "My hands made this art." And my hands is 5 fingers on the left and 2 on the right, and I have them palmed open so that you can see these different hands made this art. And then up here I have the words trigger, finger. And basically on each side of the obelisk I've taken these negative nicknames that I was called when I was a kid, and then I've represented them in a new situation. And then I'm going to put hidden pictures on the obelisk, and basically it's going to say, can you find how many of these hidden images can you find? So that's really what I was interested in, like the engagement of people and the idea of disarming them from thinking that birth defects or being different is something to be afraid of or to not talk about, and instead change it into things that you want to engage and could even be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
And what was your medium on your obelisk?
Paint.
Paint?
Paint.
Okay.
Yep. A lot of
All right.
paint and some thicker types of paint.
All right. Well, I want to thank you.
Yay,
It's awesome.
thanks.
And
Thank you.
yeah, we're going to see them all sooner or later, and it'll be great.
Yay.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.